After the events of last season, it was a pretty good question of whether Everson Griffen future would be here with the Minnesota Fighting Vikings or elsewhere. But now, at age 31, Sack Daddy, woo, has turned in a solid, phenomenal season and should be up there for comeback player of the year, frankly. Well, I think Dalvin could win it, possibly. But if Dalvin wins, I feel like he should just hand it over to Sack Daddy just out of respect. Sure. But also, he saved his best game of the season for the big stage, big lights against the New Orleans Saints, helping the Vikings shock the world, but not shock ourselves. But it's safe to say that Everson Griffen still got a little bit of something left in the tank, and I'm super proud, super happy for good old number 97. So let's rewind back to the offseason. Now, Everson had those mental health issues last year, took him off the field for, I believe it was 6 weeks, then came back, wasn't really himself. So the question was, at age 31, with the big salary cap number, what was going to happen? What was going to happen with Everson? But at the 11th hour, Everson decided to restructure his contract, stay with the Vikings, freed up some cap space, and I think it was a great deal. I think it was a win-win, and also just Everson being able to stay in Minnesota, where it was obviously he has a good support structure. It was really important, and also the Vikings needed him as the defense was still a Super Bowl caliber defense, and if Everson could get back to being Everson, something really special could happen here. And 97, he answered the bell. 41 tackles this year, 66 pressures, which is 14th best in the NFL. For a big bulk of the season, it was Everson and Daniil in the top 5, or being the best tandem edge rushing duo in terms of pressures. I still think they're number 1. But then Zadarius Smith just came in and wrecked things. Hey, thanks, offensive line. Thanks. Yeah, Zadarius Smith had 30 pressures week 16, but whatever. But also, Everson had 8 sacks on the season, as well as had his second highest career PFF pass rushing grade of 76.3, second only to 2017 when he was a Pro Bowler, and of course was at peak Everson, at the height of his power. So it's all not bad for a 31-year-old. And then came the Saints game, where no one gave the Vikings a chance. You saw Everson firing up the team pregame, per usual, as that's what he is. He is the vocal leader. He is the emotional heart and soul of this team, especially this defense. And then he came in and he wrecked fools. He had 4 pressures and a sack and a half, working against Pro Bowl left tackle Terron Armstead, as well as generating some interior pass rush on those third downs. Little NASCAR package, having 99 and 97 in the middle of that defensive line. It was pretty sexy, and it's a great way to compensate for not having some 3 techs that can actually rush the passer, but I digress there. Anyways, Everson was a big reason why the Vikings shut down Drew Brees and company. By the way, let's be honest here. Drew Brees looked like ass in that game. I mean, Taysom Hill was the best Saints quarterback on the field by far, but argument for another day. But helped the Vikings get that big win down in Nala. And now Everson, he's important. He is extremely important here because he's been there. He was on that 2017 team. He was there for the miracle. You all remember him after the Diggs miracle. Yeah. And also, he's been through 38-7. So he remembers that pain, bottom of the pit of the stomach of, we were one step away from the Super Bowl and we got our teeth kicked in. Never again. So he's going to be relaying this to some of the younger players on the team that were even there, as well as some of the young bucks, as well as Kirk Cousins, who frankly has not experienced that level of Viking suckitude yet. But Everson, he's the emotional leader of this team, and the leadership is going to help bind this Viking squad as they head out to Santa Clara, looking to upset the world yet again and get that knock off the 1 seed San Francisco 49ers. And then in the NFC title game, potentially at Lambeau, I would love it. Yeah. And then down in Miami, just trying to hoist that Jerome Barty one time. But also big respect to Everson is that when he restructured, he bet on himself. Where it's like, all right, so I fully understand. I'm going to do the team a favor, but also I'm going to do myself a favor here too, because remember, he had signed a contract extension through 2022. And what happened is that when they restructured, they put in the caveat that the last 3 years of the deal, so after this season, would be voided if he got over 6 sacks and played over 56% of the defensive snaps. So yes and yes on both. So now Everson is going to be a free agent after this year. So at 32, he's set himself up to get paid yet again. And if you think that Yeah, oh, so, well, he's an older pass rusher. Look at the deal that Cameron Wake got in Tennessee. I mean, come on. So pass rushers will always be at a premium, no matter what the age. And I also think that Everson, even though he's considerably younger than Dwight Freeney was towards the end of his career, when Dwight Freeney did that barnstorming thing where he's like, all right, so Freeney had all those great years in Indianapolis, then went to the Chargers, had a couple of great years, then he went from like Seattle, Atlanta, Arizona, all back and forth. So I think Everson clearly has enough left in the tank for that. But also I think he brings plenty of value here. So hopefully that the Vikings and Everson can come to a number. But also, I mean, the rise of Weatherly. Do you want to pay to keep Weatherly? And also the rise of Fadio Denebo, who is still on a contract for 2 years, I believe, on his cheaper deal. I mean, that could change the calculus a little bit, but there is no doubt that this defense is greatly boosted by the presence of 97. So that's down the line. I mean, let's focus on Saturday right now. But overall, just extremely happy and have a lot of respect for what Everson did this year. Vikings need Sack Daddy to continue to lead the Hellfire defense. Let's get a W. There you go. Your thoughts. Good old number 97. Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, below some of the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. But the next time, Skull Production Value.